Welcome back. Mozambique's veteran rebel leader, Afonso Dhlakama, has died at the age of 65. That's according to sources from his party, Renamo. Dhlakama was the leader of the Mozambican National Resistance, Renamo, which fought the Frelimo government in the Mozambican Civil War from 1976 to 1992. After that, Renamo became the opposition party, but Dhlakama lost to Frelimo candidates in all 5 presidential elections from 1994 to 2014. Now, for more on this story, we are now joined on the line by Mozambican Television reporter Simiao Pongoane, who is in Johannesburg. Simiao, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Now, do we know more information regarding the circumstances around the death of Mr. Dhlakama?
Thank you very much. So far, I don't have personally more details about what happened really with Afonso Dhlakama. The information I've got is that apparently he has passed on around 8 o'clock early in the morning when his officials were preparing to take him to hospital abroad. It looks like they were going to take him to Malawi or to Kenya according to his wish. And then I also got information that the Mozambican government had sent a helicopter to airlift him. I don't know, to South Africa, because most of the Mozambicans who fell ill, most of them came to South Africa. I think that he was going to be taken to South Africa by the Mozambican government. But information I've got is that the helicopter arrived earlier. So far, in terms of official information, we do not have official information. I spoke to one of the Renamo senior officials. He did not deny or dismiss the story or deny. He just said that, okay, it looks like it is true. The story looks like it's true, but he cannot elaborate more because he was not given authority to do so. But he is one of the senior official of Renamo. It is very strange that Renamo always has been very quick to confirm or to deny any news relating to its leader.
I want to shift focus a little bit to look at the relations between Renamo and Frelimo. Can you describe the relations between the two parties in recent times? There's been sporadic fighting, but I do understand the parties have been looking to find some sort of solutions.
Yes, of course. You know that Renamo fought a civil war in Mozambique for 16 years, from 77 to up to 92, when Mozambican government and the Renamo signed a peace deal mediated by the Catholic Church in Rome. And then with Chissano, during Chissano's time up to 2000 or 2004, the relationship between Renamo and the government, or Renamo and Frelimo, where the relations were very, I would say, good. They were good. Renamo is represented in the parliament, and then President Chissano and Dhlakama used to meet very regularly in Maputo, and Dhlakama was living in Maputo. Then, when Gibuza came in 2005. Then the relations between Dhlakama and Gibuza were not as good as during Chissano's time. Then the civil war, skirmish, if you can call so, started. Then the relationship between the two leaders or two parties was very little bit difficult. So it was so during Gibuza's time up to 2014, and Dhlakama escaped, I think, 2 or 3 assassination attempts. And then when news came in late 2014, and it took over in 2015 actually, he started a little bit with Dhlakama, a little bit called the relationship, but then he realized that no, Dhlakama was a military rebel who, fought for 16 years and was never caught, was never killed. And then he said, okay, the best way is to negotiate peace. And then he was very, very involved in negotiation with Dhlakama. And right now there is a project, we call it a project in Mozambique, in the parliament. So that project entails decentralization in Mozambique. It means that this coming October, we will have a local election. So Renamo is going to participate in that local election. And in 2019, next year, we will have general election. It means that according to the agreement between President Nyusi and Dhlakama, the premier, what we call here in South Africa, premier, provincial premier, will be elected. Right now, in Mozambique, the premier or the provincial premiers are not elected, are appointed by the head of state. But they have agreed that next election, general election, the premier will be elected. So I would say the relationships between Dhlakama and Nyusi were very cordial. Nyusi wanted to meet with Dhlakama 3 times in Gorongosa in central Mozambique. Although Dhlakama was still resisting coming to Maputo, but he was more or less now happy that the negotiation between the two were going in a very good direction, and very soon he would come to Maputo. So they were waiting now for the final negotiation so that he could come to Maputo. Now we don't know what is going to happen after his death, although it has not been confirmed by official sources, but apparently it is true that he has passed on.
Now, just finally, it may be a little bit too early to tell, but do we know who is likely to succeed him within Renamo?
Well, there is, this is it's a story very difficult to say now, because what we know is that there is a lady who is the chief whip of Renamo in the parliament. She is also a niece to Dhlakama. So, and then, although she is not a war veteran, there are former generals, Renamo former generals, military generals. So one of them is Isufu, who is well known. He was a member of parliament. I don't know whether he's still the member of parliament, and he was very close. And then there is also Secretary General Mr. Bisopo. So we don't know yet, as you said. It's still very early to guess more or less who is going to replace him. There are two or three people who can replace him.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. That was Mozambican reporter Simiao Pongoane joining us on the line.